The morning Linda Hargrove thought she could summon the cops to terrorize my family for daring to exist in her perfect suburb was the morning her empire of lies crumbled into a spectacular public spectacle, her smug entitlement exposed on live TV as a decorated veteran and a carpenter turned her harassment into a $50,000 windfall for our community. Picture this: 6 a.m., police sirens piercing the quiet Michigan dawn, red and blue lights flashing across our Oak Ridge Meadows home like we're running a cartel instead of building a life in Detroit's outskirts. My wife Sophia opening the door in Army PT gear, posture straight as a drill sergeant who's faced real battles, while Linda, our HOA president and self-appointed suburban overlord, stands on the sidewalk pointing like she's directing a SWAT raid, her shrill voice ranting about neighborhood safety as her gleaming Mercedes sits illegally parked. Rules, apparently, only for the rest of us. When Linda spots the sergeant stripes tattooed on Sophia's shoulder, her face drains of color, blurting, "People like that don't belong in neighborhoods like this." And in that moment, she lit the fuse on her own downfall, not knowing a third-generation carpenter and his army wife were about to unravel her criminal web, exposing fraud that reshaped Oak Ridge Meadows forever. My name's Ethan Hayes, a third-generation carpenter who inherited more than skilled hands. I got my grandmother's house in Oak Ridge Meadows, built in 1989 when neighborhoods felt like communities, not gated prisons. The place needing love with peeling paint like a bad rash, a front yard resembling a wild experiment, and driveway cracks wide enough to swallow a toolbox. But it was ours, a fresh start after years of rentals. Sophia had just wrapped 8 years as an Army logistics specialist, the wizard who ensured troops got supplies in chaos, like organizing a convoy through hell, now job hunting while binge-watching any day, the scent of sawdust from my workshop blending with her peppermint tea, creating our quirky home aroma. Oak Ridge Meadows has 152 homes sprawled across old farmland outside Detroit, middle-class bliss or hell, depending on your view. The HOA kicking in around 2020 when a fancy development merged with our older section, slapping on $90 monthly dues and a rulebook thicker than a phone directory. Enter Linda Hargrove, 50-year-old real estate broker, driving a Mercedes worth more than my annual pay, living in a $450,000 edgelot mansion with landscaping like a putting green, ruling as HOA president for 4 years like her personal fiefdom. Our first week was calm. Evelyn Clark, the 75-year-old retired librarian next door, brought muffins and gossip. Her 45 years teaching high school English, giving her an eagle eye for trouble. Week 2 hit with our first violation. Fixing my porch steps was unapproved exterior changes, despite my 16 years in construction, Linda's rules requiring permission to nail loose planks. Week 3, Linda dropped by for a courtesy visit, her smile fake as plastic, eyes scanning flaws like an appraiser, lecturing on upholding standards in a tone that made the words sound dirty. Week 4 escalated. Sophia parked her trusty Toyota Camry in the driveway instead of cramming it with my gear, a practical pinging threats. While I avoided fights, she was mapping patterns, treating Linda like a supply chain snack. Evelyn noticed too, over porch tea. Linda pulled this on the Jennings family last year. They fled rather than battle, her spoon stirring honey with force. She thinks she owns this place. The click of Linda's heels became our alarm, trouble incoming. Linda's first real salvo landed at 7 a.m., taped to our door, adhesive sticky. Violation: overnight driveway parking of commercial-appearing vehicles, per Oak Ridge Meadows Covenant Section 4.2c, reeking of her floral scent like wilted roses. Our Camry, which hauled nothing more commercial than Evelyn's groceries, now a menace, $60 fine escalating to $180 after 10 days. Sophia read it, steam from her tea fogging. Her glasses, my fuel-efficient car's commercial in our own driveway. Her calm tone, the one used for crises in Baghdad. I, the peacekeeper, paid the $60 quicker than a toll, shoving Sophia's car into the garage Tetris style, my biggest blunder, feeding the beast. While I conceded, Sophia went intel mode, hitting the county courthouse with a notebook, snapping records like a scout on recon. Announcing that night, fascinating, spreading copies like battle plans, Section 4.2c restricts vehicles over 6,500 pounds from overnight parking. Our Camry's 2,950 pounds, her grin steel. In the 1989 Covenant, this rule was added in 2020 without full vote, unenforceable. The neighborhood 4th of July picnic gave cover for payback, Evelyn's bash drawing 45 neighbors. Charcoal smoke mingling with tax talk, Linda lecturing by the coleslaw, her Mercedes parked in the fire lane, red curb screaming, no parking. Sophia snapped GPS-stamped photos casually. Filing within 20 minutes with Detroit Fire Marshal, Parking Enforcement, and Environmental Office, noting Linda's crew dumping clippings in drains, citations raining, $300 fire lane fine, $180 blocking access, $600 watershed violation, Linda's perfectionism meeting real law. Her retaliation? Calling cops on a fabricated picnic threat, playing victim, appearing on our lawn as officers. Questioned us, pointing at Sophia. That woman doesn't belong here, bringing military attitude, ruining property values. The officers glanced at each other, one clearing his throat. Ma'am, are you saying you filed this because she's a veteran? Linda's face cycled through reds to purple, stammering. I didn't mean that. The senior officer cutting in. We're done here, Mrs. Hargrove. False reports are criminal. Consider this your warning. As Linda retreated, Sophia's checkmate smile gleamed. Bullies reveal their colors under pressure. Her notebook cataloging times, dates. Witnesses, military strategy 101. Let enemies defeat themselves. Parking was just Linda's probe. The real war was noise complaints, launched when I built Evelyn's wheelchair ramp after her fall. Fresh lumber's sweet smell soured by Linda's 8:03 a.m. violation for excessive construction noise, 3 minutes into legal hours. My truck doors slam, apparently shattering suburbia. Linda wasn't alone now. Enter the Fosters, California transplants in a McMansion, chasing Linda's approval like eager pups, Melissa Foster whining. This industrial activity isn't fitting for our community's caliber, her nasal tone grating. 7 noise complaints in 48 hours hit, each from different neighbors, claiming my work violated their right to silence, stress tasting metallic. Alongside sawdust, Sophia countered with a decibel meter from Amazon, measuring every hammer strike with lab precision, announcing over dinner, your peak noise, 67 dB, legal. Linda's landscapers, 93 dB at 6:45 a.m. Her charts spread like a storm tracker, city ordinance capping daytime at 75 dB, 55 before 8 a.m. Linda's crew breaking actual law. Tuesday, Sophia recorded Linda's leaf blowers, hitting 95 dB, filing with noise control, video evidence, and GPS stamps, making forensic investigators jealous. Linda's landscapers fined $800 with a suspension warning. Her next move was nuclear. An anonymous IRS tip claiming I ran an unreported cash business, plus a contractor licensing board complaint, drowning us in paperwork from the Reagan era, but my grandfather's obsessive. Records, every receipt pristine, cleared me, the IRS warning about false reports, the board noting harassment patterns. Sophia's data crushed Linda's noise network, 3 neighbors confessing they'd been bullied into false reports, retracting them as fear faded. Sophia saying, fear-based systems collapse when you refuse to be scared. Testing Evelyn's ramp with a grin. Linda's digital blitz was. Next, a private Facebook group, Oak Ridge Watch, popping up overnight, 25 members swelling like a virus. Linda's posts a masterclass in passive-aggressive warfare. Urgent. Activities at our address. Threatened safety, unregistered vehicles, suspicious construction, demographic shifts harming property values. Photos of our Camry, toolbox, even Evelyn's ramp were labeled suspicious infrastructure. Digital witch hunting stinking up my screen. Sophia launched Operation Digital Counterstrike, creating a fake profile, Clara Thompson, infiltrating Linda's echo chamber, documenting defamation with forensic precision, explaining, know your enemy's weaknesses, let them expose them publicly. Linda's fatal error was posting Sophia's dress uniform photo from her military file, captioning it, military aggression and failed soldiers can't adapt to civilian life. The coffee shop silent as Sophia's voice turned thunder calm. This is from my personnel file. classified, illegally accessed. Federal identity theft. Within 24 hours, she'd filed with Michigan's Cybercrime Division, FBI's Internet Crime Unit, and Army CID, her evidence, timestamps, IP data, CSI-worthy. Linda's safety. Meeting at Brew Haven aimed to rally neighbors against the veteran menace, but Maria, the owner, shut down discriminatory talk. Evelyn calling out federal privacy violations. Jerome Carter, our postal worker ally, dropping a federal investigation notice for Linda's social media, her world collapsing as Sophia recorded every word. The real bombshell was Sophia's financial dive, uncovering Linda's embezzlement via Hargrove Landscaping LLC, a shell company owned by her cousin, billing $48,000 for fake services, invoices flimsier than tissue, plus $13,000 for drainage. Repairs on Linda's property, charged to the HOA, her books screaming fraud, pool maintenance for no pool, summer snow removal, non-existent security systems. Sophia grinned. She saw my logistics. Stripes and knew I'd spot her scam. Her harassment a defense to drive us out, like the Jennings who'd questioned budgets before fleeing. Our war council in Evelyn's kitchen, Sophia, Jerome, Maria, and me, planned like a heist. Evelyn's cinnamon rolls fueling us, Sophia's flowchart outlining defamation lawsuits, criminal charges, license revocation, and HOA reform, Jerome's mail tampering. Evidence adding federal weight, Evelyn's spy work tracking Linda's panic. Linda's sabotage escalated. My truck's brakes slashed, a fake CPS report claiming child neglect in our childless home. Fake Google reviews calling me a disaster contractor. And worst, Linda accessing Sophia's military records, contacting her old CO with lies about instability, Colonel Ramsey, pivoting to hunt the perpetrator, Army CID coordinating with the FBI. Sophia's cameras caught Linda's accidental sprinkler flooding my workshop, Jerome documenting our mailboxes, drunk driver, hit as part of a harassment pattern across counties. The finale came at Linda's emergency safety meeting, her flyers reeking of desperation, the Oak Ridge Community Center a theatrical courtroom, Linda at a head table with a projector, 3 loyalists, and Channel 7 cameras she thought would crown her. But Sophia's counterstrike was ready, Evelyn knitting calmly, Jerome by the exit, Melissa Foster defecting, confessing Linda's perjury plot. Linda's presentation, photos of our house, my truck, wild claims of crime waves, met silence, Sophia standing, voice commanding. The community deserves real evidence. Her slides showing $48,000 embezzled, fake invoices, harassment records, the crowd gasping as Postal Inspector Williams and Detective Rodriguez stepped in. Linda Hargrove, a.k.a. Diane Marie Voss. You're under arrest for mail tampering, embezzlement, harassment, and federal privacy violations. Handcuffs clicking as Linda shrieked. This is a conspiracy. Sophia leaned in. Never mess with a veteran who knows how to follow a money trail. Applause erupting as Linda was led away. Channel 7 broadcasting her fall. 6 months later, Oak Ridge Meadows blooms. Linda's mansion sold at auction. Her 20-month federal sentence for mail tampering, 2 years state time for embezzlement, and license loss leaving her humbled, restitution funding a playground, streetlights, and a community garden where kids play. Evelyn as HOA president enforcing transparency. Jerome's Oak Ridge Gazette celebrating neighbors. My business thriving. Sophia's consulting reforming HOAs statewide. Her veteran housing program placing 5 families. The Meadows Festival replacing Linda's tyranny with joy. Property values up from pride, not fear. Sophia reflects. Linda feared we'd change the neighborhood. She was right, just not how she thought. Laughter from the garden mixing with justice's sweet taste. But here's the question. Can transparency laws stop HOA bullies? Or are we one power-hungry neighbor? From chaos? Share your HOA nightmares below. Where are you watching from? Was Linda's fall pure justice? Or does it show a system ripe for abuse? Drop your take, subscribe, and let's debate. Can communities truly shield against tyrants? Or are we all one bad rule from a fight?